and I got to make sure that I have a countertop and I've got a place for an eating station for the kids to go crazy. And then there are people who like, I want a kitchen that when I entertain once or twice a year, that everyone walks in and is like, whoa, but we eat out all the time. There's those types of people, but I will say this, from my experience, and maybe it's changed since then, but there are people who like to be safe, but then they take one room in their house. Maybe it's the dining room, and they do a wall with fabric and then an accenting wall that may have a sharper color. Are you seeing that same trend or?
Yeah, I definitely think there are spaces, in particular, when we're doing a whole home for somebody, I think they do find spaces that they feel they can be a little bit more bold in, right?
Sure.
And we always are able to enjoy that, whether that's kind of like off of the foyer, like you said, the dining room, something entry that maybe they're not spending time in every single day, but it's more of what we call a looker room. You want to guests as you're walking past. Let's throw a cool wallpaper up, let's stripe it, let's give a banging chandelier, let's do something that is really unexpected,
But give it some panache. I like that. So are there any rooms in the house that you're seeing bubble up to like more popularity, like maybe even like a garage or a man cave or a study room or multi-purpose, taking the dining room, knocking out the wall from the dining room and extending the kitchen?
Yes.
Are you seeing anything in those variations?
Nobody wants a dining room anymore. If the dining room is connected to the kitchen, I feel like 9 times out of 10, we're tearing the walls down and expanding the kitchen into the dining room. Just functionality, the way people live today is everybody wants to be in the kitchen, and you'd rather have a banging kitchen. The 2-island kitchen is, really popular now. So why not get rid of the dining room?
Tell me more about a 2-island kitchen.
Yeah, so you have that kind of double step in the kitchen where you have your main island is kind of like your workspace island. So that's got your sink in it, your dishwasher, all of that stuff. And that's could be near the oven, cooktop area. And then you have that secondary island that may have an additional bar sink in it or something, a prep sink. But that usually then is where the island seating is at. So you have that kind of functional island, workspace island, and then you have that secondary island where your actual bar stools or counter stools are, where people can entertain. So it kind of gives you 2 spots to kind of float around. And if you're entertaining, guys may be over here, girls may be over here, kids may be in one spot, moms may be in the other. So it just makes it more functional.
I want to get back to the dining room being out.
Yeah.
I have to agree with you. If I think back in my childhood growing up, my mom, my dad was in home improvement.
Sure.
He was out selling dormers and additions, kitchens and baths. And in the evening, my mom was making us dinner. But I remember doing my homework in the dining room table.
Yeah.
I remember doing that all the time. But, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and maybe Easter, 3 times a year, we had maybe a birthday dinner or something. That was it.
It was literally it.
And there was always a pile. We always had a mound of bills, paperwork, homework on the dining room table, right? I mean, that's what it is.
It also became the coat rack too, you had guests over, the dining table became the throw your coat on the dining table.
It's so funny, the coat rack. My coat racks in my house, just so you know, Veronica, not to digress, is the dining room chairs, and you ready? My treadmill.
Oh, there you go.
I use the treadmill to hang clothes.
That's right.
I don't know why, but and I think I'm not the only one, by the way. So making the statement that dining rooms are out is bold.
Yeah.
And I 100% subscribe to that. And I agree. And I'm glad you said it as a contractor. And for everyone out there, for all homeowners right now, I just want you to know it's the truth. So why not, if you're going to do a new kitchen, why not integrate your dining room? And why not figure out how to make the space better? Because when you do that, guess what? Functionality, value. When a homeowner is trying to buy a house, I promise you, on a new house, if you're selling your house and you don't have a dining room, Good morning. This is How You're Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Thanks for tuning in. We have a jam-packed show this morning, but let's get right to the content. Did you know that today is Salt Sale Saturday? That's right, my friends. If you want clean water, and by the way, the future is clean water. Don't think about it, but just know it. We're here always leading. We always lead or follow, but we never let anyone get out of the way. But we're all ears here because it's Salt Sale Saturday. That's right. And what does that mean? Well, if you have water softener in your house, Beauchamp Water Treatment Solutions, and Jared Beauchamp, who, by the way, is the king of water, they have a huge sale every Saturday. And softener salt is $6.99 a bag, and it makes sense. But listen, you heard about the Flint water crisis for many years. Do you know there's many numerous cities to name that have bad water? And even if you have city water or well water, you need clean water. So don't forget, my friends, that getting clean water is not impossible to change. All you have to do is get a water test, have Beauchamp Water Treatment Solutions take care of your house. They'll tell you all the total dissolved solids, and they will absolutely make sure your water's clean. Okay. Now, with that being said, what about a well tank? What about well water in your house and you have parts and you're not sure? Have them come. It's like a tune-up, like a furnace tune-up. You got an old furnace, get it tuned up. You got an old water softener, let them come out and inspect it. Let them figure out the best process. Because look at technology changes. People don't realize that they need to get the water done properly. Let them come out and take care of that. If you have a rusty well tank, your existing softener, any makes and model, they will help you with. Now, how about tankless water heaters? How about anything water related in your house? They're also your water heater specialists. Okay. You want a sump pump? How about a battery backup sump pump? If you call them today, they're going to be giving you 10% off on stuff. Now, I want you to know this. I personally don't drink enough water. But when I do, I want to make sure it's clean. And, look at bottled water, right? Think about how crazy this is. 20 years ago, if you said, oh, my God, everyone's going to be drinking bottled water, you'd be like, you're nuts. It's free. Why would they drink bottled water and pay for it? Well, this is how we've gone in society and evolved. But think about it. When you're drinking water in your house, you want it to be clean. And the water's coming down pipes from the city or the treatment plant, and it's the distribution system. It's the underground. It's the galvanized pipe. It's all the pipes from everywhere that is old, and all the schmutz and all the skuts that gets in the pipes and gets coming through into your house. You end up drinking it. So why not have all that water come in your house and then get cleaned before you drink it, before you shower in it? There's all kinds of different water today. You've got alkaline water, you've got hydrogen water, you've got pH balance, this, that, reverse osmosis. It's a different language. So what I want you to know, my friends, is translate the language with Beauchamp water. Okay. And the reason why I say that is because I've looked at water softener companies. I've looked at water companies. You've heard of these Kangen and the other water places. They're all good, but you need great. And here's the best part about Beauchamp. Not only are they great, they're never the most expensive. Now, they're never the cheapest. They're right in the middle. And if you want fresh, clean water so you won't be growing an eye out of your forehead or an extra finger or anything crazy like that, you need to go to Beauchamp Water Treatment Solutions. And that's the thing. You got to remember, a lot of homeowners rely on point-of-use filters for drinking water. The whole house water filtration system that Beauchamp gives you comprehensive protection for every faucet in your home. How many of your kids drink out of the faucets in the bathrooms? Like, I'm, an old guy now, right? I used to drink out of the hose outside. People are like, you did? That's crazy. But that's for another episode. Right. So I just want you to know, if you want that kind of a system installed, whole house filter, it's not expensive. It's easy. And the best part is peace of mind. Okay, friends, peace of mind. You want to love your water? Trust me, please. Okay. Beauchamp Water Treatment Solution. Just go to hiredone.com. And you can click on Beauchamp. You can watch videos. Jared Beauchamp, again, we call him the king of water because literally everybody compares themselves to him. His family are they're like the dynasty of water. Okay. And in fact, I think the guy owns one of the Great Lakes. I'm not even sure, but I think his family is probably one of the Great Lakes people. So tankless water heaters, if you want constant pressure, you think, oh, I've heard you lose water pressure. That's a bunch of BS. Don't think about it. You've got it. Okay. Battery backup sump pumps, everything for water for your house done properly. Is the way to go. And if you want to get a hold of Beauchamp Water, it's pretty simple. 810-632-2000, or go to hireitdone.com. Click on Beauchamp Water. They're all over the site. There's 1,000 videos with him and I. Literally, the science is in. If you like facts, if you like reality, you love this, because like I've been newly nicknamed, I've been newly crowned the contractor whisperer, which is kind of cool, I think.
Where was that?
Birmingham Lifestyle Magazine, but hey, I digress. There's more than just this area. Anyways, my friends, listen, here's the point. Okay. You want clean water, you want it done right, do this. And I tell people, look at like air quality. The air inside your house is 5 to 10 times dirtier than the outside air. The water you're drinking coming out of your faucet has got schmutz in it. TDS, total dissolved solids. What do you think solids mean? I'm thinking it's poo, right? What else could it be? Rust, magnesium, something like that.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky. So get rid of the TDSs. Okay. Wait, total dissolved solids? Trump derangement syndrome. Uh-oh. Does he get rid of that too? I don't talk politics, folks. I just want to let you know. But I just TDS, I'm thinking, wait a minute, something jumped in my head. But again, Beauchamp Water Treatment Solutions, you'll love your water. And don't forget, March 22nd is Water Day, 322. So if you want to path to better water, you want it done right, Jared Beauchamp literally is leading the way. At Hire It Done, we always tell our contractors, lead, follow, or get out of the way. Leading the way. In fact, speaking of leading the way, we have a great guest, another leader in another home service vertical, frames, pest and wildlife. These guys are rock stars, and they're coming on the show. They're here in studio right now. But don't forget, if you want to watch us, you can see us on all social media. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Instagram. We're live on WRIF FM if you're in the car. YouTube Live. What else, Roberto? LinkedIn, TikTok. We're everywhere. If you get sick of me, I'm sorry. I show up everywhere. We need to do I was looking up cat food. Next thing you know, every cat food manufacturer in America is on my page, right? And by anyone out there who's listening, I have a Maine Coon. I just got a brand new Maine Coon, like a little cat that's going to be like a monster. If anyone has any advice for me, besides, get 500 more litter boxes and, like a D9 excavator to scoop up the poop, I think then I'll be okay. But also, don't forget, my friends, we're live. If you want to text us for questions this morning, the text number is 248-927-1985. Again, 248-927-1985. Text us. It's Shout Out Saturday, as you all know, which means if you're a contractor looking to get your name out there, or if you're looking to grow your business in 2026, get a hold of us. Hire It Done is looking for landscapers right now. We have an opening for landscaping, brickscape, hardscape, brick pavers. We have an opening for another plumber. And we have an opening for, I'm trying to think what else. That's pretty much it. We're pretty booked. But if you want to promote your business, you got to have 5-star reviews. You got to be in business at least 5 years. You got to be licensed. You got to be insured. And you got to accept or submit to a background check. But hey, we don't do anything on your employees. Otherwise, I'd get in trouble. So other than that, though, life is good, right? Tell me about your home improvement list and what you want to do this year. Remember, folks, Hire It Done is here to help you for hassle-free home improvement. Your house does not have an odometer. There's no check engine light. There's no change your oil light. There's nothing. But Hire It Done is going to do it for you. So when do you get pest control? When do you get a furnace tune-up? When do you get your air conditioner tune-up? When do you walk around your house and make this inspection? Well, you better start thinking about it, because we're going to show you today with Frames, Pests, and Wildlife what to do, and we're going to give you the roadmap to make sure your house is protected and you be proactive, not reactive. But we just had a lot of water. We had a lot of rain. And guess what, my friends? What happens is water migrates down. And if the ground is still frozen, it's not going to go into your foundation. It's going to go over it. And then you're going to have a big problem. So with that being said, you got to watch out. And don't forget, if you have a question, 248-927-1985, we're going to answer a question when we come back. Why are battery backup sump pumps better than water backup sump pumps? When we come back. My name's Adam Helfman. This is Hire It Done on 101 WRIF. Everything that rocks. Okay. People come into the house and they look and they're like, yeah, this is the kind of house I want.
Mhm.
And creating a dining room after the fact or putting it back is not a problem. Veronica, anything can be done today, right?
Anything. Creativity, we're not short on it here. Creativity is, part of the game. You hire the right people, you get the right projects, you get the right results.
How important? Let me ask you this. When it's finding a contractor, and I must say I'm most impressed with you and your company. What is the contractor looking for in a homeowner? Like what ideal trait would you say the perfect homeowner for me would be this?
Sure. I think somebody looking for holistic, somebody who's not looking at each individual piece as its own piece, but, looking at the project as a whole. Somebody who is thinking about when I walk in, how do I want to feel? What do I want to see? And communicating, who's able to communicate those ideas. We're also looking for, people who are, I want to say, decisive in a way of not that they don't want to see options, because our job is to show options, but people who are able to trust somebody else to be able to execute the space. And I know that makes some people uncomfortable, and design build generally probably is not the right fit for those type clients. If you're trying to kind of micromanage every aspect of it, you're not going to get the full, Monty of what design build can really do for you, because there's all these memes going around. It's like when one thing changes, the whole thing starts to unravel.
It's called it's a domino effect. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
And with the internet, with Google, with all the new ways to buy, it can create anxiety.
Yes.
I call it information overload. There are some homeowners who just say, all right, you're going to be like, all right, we're going to pick a fabric to match this. Let's look at the color palette. And then for whatever reason, they end up Googling it. And then all of a sudden there's so many decisions that it all of a sudden triggers, in their brain, like, oh boy, I better slow down. I better take a break, and they get all crazy. Or you go on Pinterest and you type in, cool podcast studios or, really cool man cave. And the next thing you know,
yeah,
you're like, whoa, I got way too many choices. So it's your job as the design build expert to navigate, hold the homeowner's hand, and like you said, take them across the finish line, turnkey, A to Z,
right,
to Mrs. Jones, this is the colors that go with this. This is what I recommend. And I promise, based on our meetings, you're going to love it.
Yep.
Right?
Yep, essentially. Yep. That's the goal. And the more people are able to, from the beginning, communicate what they're trying to execute, it's like, I don't want to say easy, but, we're pretty good at it. We're good listeners. We're good executors as far as giving them what it is that they're trying to achieve.
Which makes perfect sense. Let me ask, as we're talking about renovating homes and kitchens and baths and room additions and man caves, next year, 2026, since we're getting towards the end of the year, do you have any predictions for popular projects or, like the last frontier? I'd love to hear your opinion. So,
honestly, I anticipate we're going to be doing more outdoor spaces. I think that the trend is flowing that, post-COVID, obviously everybody's spending more time at home. And I think that, we've seen
Welcome back. This is Higher Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Just had a great little water segment with Beauchamp Water Treatment Solutions. And in the segment, we got a question about water backup, sump pumps versus battery backup. Here's the deal. My opinion is battery backup is better, and here's why. A battery backup installed properly. Remember, the sump pump that's done properly is the one that's installed properly. Battery backup lasts 3 days, okay? Typical power outage is about 24 hours on average over a long period of time. Yeah, we can go longer or less, but you want your battery to last at least 3 days. If you do the water backup, which is it takes the water coming in from the city and it has a valve that opens when the power goes out, and then that valve from the water spins a little impeller, which then spins the suction from the sump pump, and that makes your water bill go insane. The city will be calling you. Hey, your water bill went up double this week because of the water backup. So the risk because of the cost of water is too much when the power goes out. So my opinion, my advice, consider battery backup first. And of course, Beauchamp has both. Got a question this morning. We're talking pest control now. 248-927-1985. On the show right now, Derrick Case, Frames Pest and Wildlife, one of the best exterminators, wildlife pest control companies around. I've done the research, and what great guys. Derrick, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on.
It was a good little drive up here this morning.
Not too terribly bad. It was a little foggy, a little wet, but that's all right.
How's the Frames Pest and Wildlife year starting out?
So far, so good. You know, the winter's been a really long winter. It's been cold. I think everybody is ready to get out. And I just remember today is the end of daylight savings. So we're gonna get an extra hour of daylight here coming up, which is good.
I love that. Let me ask you a question. Do you know why they started daylight savings time?
I have no idea.
Let me give you a little piece of history. Ben Franklin is the father of daylight savings time. And good old Ben said, wait a minute. We need the farmers to have that extra hour of light when because it was getting dark in the fall, and they needed that extra hour. So they would say, all right, once a year, we would change in the wintertime to an extra hour. And then in the spring, we would change it back and you lose an hour. Well, what they never did at the time, because of the medical research, was it's bad for you health-wise. Heart attacks are more, I don't know, during daylight savings, believe it or not. And I'm not a doctor or anybody. That's literally why. And so now they've come up with, let's just abolish it. Why are we getting up earlier? As when I was in high school, I hated that. Oh, we get less hour of sleep. But now I'm like, oh, I get to sleep in, right? So there was, 6-7. But my point is, this is our last daylight savings time. And by the way, Arizona, high fives to them. They never did it.
Right.
So, and people, Michigan is on Eastern time zone. People's like, aren't you Midwest or Central time zone? I'm like, no, we're Eastern. Yep. So anyways, that's the little tidbit of history. But hey, you know how that goes.
But the good part for us is we get to stay out a little bit later now. You're going to be out in your yard a little bit more.
Exactly.
Which means that, a lot of things you get to enjoy.
I'm all about that. And by the way, 2026 is the year of the staycation. Outdoor living, relaxing outside, making sure, you don't have unwanted guests and environments and things like that. We're going to have a good year. So let's get right into it. Let's give the residential scenario. We're in late winter. We can see spring around the corner, a couple weeks away. Let's start with advice for homeowners. What should we be doing now to look at properly or being proactive on pest control?
Well, I think biggest thing is just like you said, the winter is starting to be done.
Sure.
So all the snow is gone. We've had a lot more snow this year than we've had in the past. So a lot of things underneath you're starting to see. For instance, in the yards, moles. Moles have been active all winter long. So if you do have moles in your yard, you've seen where they're at now. So take a look at your yard for moles.
A mole. So let's tell everyone a mole. It's not a hedgehog. Is it like a rat? It's a little.
It's a small vermin. I'd say vermin. It's kind of it's one of those
gerbil,
words.
hamster. That family or bigger?
No, more. It's about they're about the size of your hand, but they're
Okay.
very active, and they're in your yard, and they're feeding on grubs, worms, insects, and they're constantly eating. So as you see those mole runs, there may be a couple that are active in your yard that always using, and then the other ones are just search runs where they're looking for the other stuff. So but the wintertime, when the snow's on the ground, they're still active underneath. So as that snow starts to melt, those runs you'll see, and that's where the damage is.
So the little humps in the ground.
Yep.
But what about when the ground freezes? Do they still are they
They're
below?
they're still below, and they're still running through.
And they got fur coats, so they don't care.
Yep.
They're loving it.
You'll see other animals coming through your yard. Skunks are coming in, rutting in the yards, looking for insects as well. So they're coming out looking for. So a lot
you
of
guys
times
can prevent. You can do all skunk control.
We do skunk control. We do wildlife animals, raccoons moving. Everything in the world is moving. But as that stuff gets moving, you need to start looking at your house to see if there was any access points for those type of animals. So up high, down low, roof vents, ridge vents, chimney caps.
So the whole house.
The
inspection.
whole house.
That's actually really good advice. We're talking with Derrick Case, Frames, Pest, and Wildlife. If you have a question for us this morning, 248-927-1985. That's the text line for Hire It Done. Text us 248-927-1985. We're talking with Frames Pest Control. So if the best thing to do right now is to get an inspection. Can a listener call Frames and say, hey, I think I have some of these coming up. Can you guys come out and inspect and confirm and then give me like a roadmap of what I need to do this year?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's the easy part.
It's the easy part.
Giving us a call is the easy part. The service program for a residential at this time is, maintenance. It's everything is generally going to be a maintenance program until you have a problem. And those are the ones that when you walk outside or you're in the house and you see stink bugs, Asian ladybugs in the house, the problem's already there. So really, to be honest with you, maintenance is going to help out in any way, shape, or form for pests. But also when you're dealing with that, you're also maintaining food sources. So this winter, when the fall came, we actually came into winter pretty quick. There really wasn't that much of a drop off.
It was a harsh, quick one.
Right around Thanksgiving, it really, if you got walloped, if you didn't get your yard maintenance done before the winter, a lot of that yard maintenance now is still up near the house. So the first thing you really want to do is look at, where's the yard waste around the house? Did you get the leaves picked up around the house? Were you able to do those little maintenance things before that we normally get the leaves out to the yard? Are your eaves troughs clean? If they're not, you probably want to start looking at that, figuring out when you can get that done. As the season progresses into the spring, any way, shape, or form where we can make sure that water, when the spring starts coming and the rain season comes, to get away from the house is going to help out. And then you got to start looking at your yard and what's around your yard. Is there high grass around your yard? Because this also, because we're going to be coming into tick season and mosquito season. So there's a lot of little things that when you're looking at your yard, you're not just looking at your yard in a way like, cleaning it up. What can I do to help make sure that I don't have any insects? Do you have garbage around your house? Do you need to pick it up so the water pooling there so the mosquitoes you don't have access for mosquitoes to lay eggs, things like that.
So let me ask you this. You guys service all of the Southeast Michigan.
Yep.
if someone calls you from Macomb County and someone's calling you from like downriver, is it different types of rodents and vermin and pests in that area? It's all the same.
It's
don't
all
matter.
the same.
They don't care where you live. The zip code doesn't matter.
Zip code does not matter. Size of house doesn't matter.
Right.
Really, everybody's dealing with the same types of bugs.
Okay, so let's say what are some of the early signs that there's something going on? Carpenter ants, stink bugs, the humps in the ground outside. Is it all combined?
Pretty much. I mean, it's all combined. It's seasonal.
Okay.
So as you get into season, certain bugs will be more active. So your point about the stink bugs, Asian ladybugs, box elder bugs, if you're seeing them in the house, they're probably already in your house. So really one of the best things to do for them is you want to maintain that in the fall, get them before they start coming into the house. This time of year, what they will do though, is as they're waking up, the homes are the biggest source of our warmth.
Sure.
So sun's beating down on the house. They're going to come to the house. They're going to sit on it. They're going to rest. They're going to warm up, and then they'll fly off, and then they'll go look for some food sources, and where they're going to be resting at the rest of the season. In the springtime, they're moving away, but you also get things coming out. So your stinging insects, your reproductive stinging insects are going to be moving out, getting ready to find their nesting spots for the season. So a lot of times you can get out, you'll be seeing not much, but what we can do is we can actually provide a preventative maintenance service so you don't have stinging insects building on your house. Mosquito services. So we come out, take an inspection, look for those problematic areas, and we can start treating those so you don't have mosquitoes during the year. Ants, carpenter ants. This is the time that they're really waking up and they're starting to look for food sources. During the fall, when they're getting ready to overwinter, they're eating a lot of carbohydrates to store for storage food. So as they wake up, they're going to start searching for proteins. As they start looking for proteins, well, there's not much food source outside right now, so they're really foraging to the homes looking for that food source. So a lot of times you'll start seeing carpenter ants this time of year in the homes looking for food and water, just like you and I would eat.
Interesting. Very interesting. So, okay. So I recently, for everyone out there, I had Frames do a project on a smaller house in an area where a homeowner basically consults with me to manage their estate, we'll call it.
Okay.
And they have a guest house on the property. They got a pool, they got a pond, and they have this big old honking mansion. You guys came out and did a great inspection, way more thorough than everyone else. But I did notice in the guest house, the furnace went out, so I had to run over there with my guys. But I noticed a couple areas of droppings, and I'm like, oh, I better call Frames. I got all excited, So indications. Like we just talked about. Mm-hmm. I saw it looked like, I don't know if it's what kind of droppings, but it's poop from something.
Okay.
When someone notices that, they should call you right away.
Yep.
Okay. And then you come out and address the situation.
So for droppings, there could be bat droppings. It could be mice droppings. It could be, there's also voles. Voles can get in the house too, which is something different than a mole. It's kind of similar, but different in general. There's just a lot of little things that you would need to be able to take a look at to see. A mouse about the size of your pinky can get in the house. So you really got to know what you're looking for when you're looking for entry points for mice, especially over winter.
Yeah, so in the size of a quarter, they can get through.
Size of a dime, about the size of your pinky.
They can squeeze in.
They can squeeze in. So.
And they don't pay rent.
But also, if you're in a building, if you have an outbuilding that you don't necessarily use during the wintertime, and you open it up and you see droppings, well, obviously there was something that was going on.
Is it the warmth? Is it the food? What is it attracting to them? Is it the free rent?
Just the free rent. They're looking for a place just to be.
And you guys are the evictors.
And we can be the evictor. But with rodents, really, especially with the rules and regulations with rodenticides right now, you really have to be careful with what you're using. So the industry itself is really going to more exclusion and excluding them from getting inside. So there's a little bit more detail to what you're looking at than just going out and putting a box with rodenticides, putting a box with snap traps in, or mechanical. It's just something that's changing. And as the landscape's changing, you have to change as well. So really, you really have to start looking at other objectives. And when you think rodents, you're going to think down low, running around.
Yeah.
So, but rodents can climb, and they can climb well. So you're talking also about ridge vents. So if they can get up, if you have stuff that's up near the building,
they'll climb.
They can climb, get on the roof, and they can enter through your ridge vents.
They're like Spider-Man.
And there's products that we have that exclude those. Your end caps of your the house where the plastic siding is at. So those end caps,
they can go right through.
So if it's hollow, they can get up and get in. And you're only talking again.
Do they follow the heat loss? Can they sense where all the heat's coming out? So that's where
they
it
have a lot
them?
of sensors and feelings. So I'm not going to say yes, but I also will say that they're looking for those entry points. Again, you have a house, you have a home in the middle of what we would call everything, and they're going to find a place to get to. And at certain times, you're probably going to have more activity than not, but they're all over.
We're talking with Derrick Case from Frames, Pest, and Wildlife. And basically what he's laying out, folks, is a roadmap, okay? And it starts with maintenance. It starts with almost like when I say you must get a maintenance package when you do heating and cooling, because it saves you thousands in the future. This is very similar. If you're thinking about getting your house inspected, get Frames out there, okay? Let them inspect your house. Let them put together the roadmap that shows you, hey, in this area, in your house, here's what we saw, here's what we can treat, and here's what we want to do on this 12-month journey where every seasonal change gets everybody on the same page. And let's talk about if someone doesn't do it and then all of a sudden they get an infestation, the cost. Because you have to sometimes do destructive damage to get like a beehive out, or, rodents can eat away at all kinds of stuff.
It's one of those tricky situations. Everybody can do pest control. I mean,
Yeah.
You can go to the Home Depot, you can go to Lowe's, you can buy the products, everybody can do the pest. Everybody can do this. The expertise at which what we're looking at obviously is going to be the big thing.
Prevention.
But one of the things that was interesting, so being in the pest control industry, I was just actually at the Michigan meeting. So there's a Michigan Association, Pest Management Association, and it's they do this every year in the winter, and they also do it during the summer. And actually, they have some more programs each month for pest control companies to get licensed and their credit hours. So it's basically learning hours. And each time you go, you learn a whole new different thing about kind of what we're doing in the industry, what's new, what's old, refreshing courses and things like that. So
keeping your finger on the pulse. And that's what I said about earlier. And for everyone out there, you lead, you follow, or you get out of the way. Frames, thank you. And, your leaders. And
one of the speakers was talking about, just what we're talking about now and why it's important to have pest control companies. And one of the things he said was like, how much time do you want to spend walking around your house looking for things for bugs? You don't. So you have.
When I was a teenager or a kid, I wanted to, because I would want to burn them and spray them and do all the things that are putting me in hell when I die.
But as a homeowner or owning a business, it's time saved. So people in general are lazy. I sometimes get lazy and
reactive,
I don't really want to do it right. Reactive.
That's life.
So there's two types of pest control. One, you want to be active. You want to make sure that you have the maintenance programs, and we offer that. And that's the easiest way to not have to worry about it, because as the seasons come, we treat for insects as the seasons come. So what's next? So the protocol for what's next. And if you're always thinking about what's next, you can actually become a little bit more effective with your treatments.
Is there a chance that you could eliminate all that and then a year later not have to do it? Or is it always, it's a cycle, they come back no matter what?
There's plenty of bugs. They're always going to come back. Yeah. But then there's the reactive where you just don't have, you're not your level of concern about bugs isn't as high as some. So you have some that don't like bugs. You have some that really they don't bother me. And then you have the ones in the middle.
So here's my life. And I'm sure it mirrors a lot of people. When I'm outdoors, I don't know. I don't care, except I want no mosquitoes. But then I'll see bees coming out of the ground or hornets coming out of a soffit vent. And then I'm like, oh boy, not looking until I see them going back and forth. And then I'm inside my house. I don't want spiders. I don't want ants, and I don't want them stink bugs, right? And then what were the other ones? The little ladybugs, the other version of them. Those are always there. And they're like, oh boy. But for everyone out there, if you want to be proactive and if you want to like be ahead of the game, which is really those are the people that sit in the front of the home improvement class, right? I was the guy in the back of the room, but here I am now preaching to everyone. I want everyone to go to the front. Does that make sense?
Yep. So with that, we have and most companies do this as well. But we have our Guardian program. It's and we have different tiers of our Guardian program. We have our Guardian Total Protection, which covers everything honoring your home, including termites, wildlife, everything. Then we have your step downs, ones that have with mosquitoes.
You do mosquito spraying?
We do mosquito spraying, and we actually have a program that's called our Guardian with Mosquito, and we basically come out monthly and treat for mosquitoes, and then quarterly treat for the other bugs. And each time you come out, you get a detailed report on what we found and things like that. And that's your quarterly guaranteed service. So we come out every 3 months and we're doing a treatment. And if there's problems in between, you call your company and they come out and they take care of those as those times. Because that will happen. You get a discount
if I sign up for your Guardian plan. And then I see there could be rodents. I call you back and you say, yep, you've discovered them.
Yep.
Normally it would be X amount, but now because you're the Guardian, you get X minus.
For certain programs. Yes.
Okay. So there's a menu that homeowners can go. Can they go to your website?
Yep. You can go to the website, framespestcontrol.com, and all this stuff is there as well. The other thing is then you get the reactive ones where it's the one time. And most companies will have that one-time service as well, because again, not everybody wants to have people come out and spray their house all the time. So those one-time services are target specific. So if you, Adam, I know you have a big fear of bed bugs, but just something like that, those are one-time services that we do offer as well.
Bed bugs, I forgot about those. I'm the guy who's that sucker who on TikTok shop, I bought the vacuum cleaner that like the mattress vacuum. It's like this thing you push down, and because I'm like OCD with that stuff. Oh my God. If you only knew, I wish I could travel with this thing. Like I change my sheets all the time. Like I have like the white glove test with my my housekeeper. And literally when this thing was sucking out of the mattress, I'm like, no wonder bed bugs. Did you know your body sheds $1 worth, like the size of $1 worth of skin on every night? Can you imagine I'm getting vomit right now. Whoa, God, right? That's why you got to call Frames.
That's why you call Frames. So and it's target specific. So this time of year, we get a lot of call for ants. So and some don't want to do the preventative program, so we offer that one-time service. And it does come with a 45-day guarantee. And then after that 45-day guarantee, there's a service charge if we have to keep coming back, because sometimes you do. When insects don't just stop, they're outside, they're foraging. So sometimes it might be a foraging problem. Sometimes it might be an issue with where it's just kind of one of those things where it's just you kind of have to always have them there. And also sometimes you might not know necessarily where the problem is at. So carpenter ants could be foraging. You could have a carpenter ant nest on your house, and you may never see an ant inside your house. They're foraging outside for that area, and then all of a sudden you start seeing them. Well, then you got to do a little bit of inspection. Sometimes you might not find them right away, so it could take couple trips out, because as you narrow those areas down, then you find them.
Let me ask you this, and for anyone out there who has a question, text us. We have a shout out Saturday here, 248-927-1985. Again, 248-927-1985. That's the text line. Shout out Saturday. Plus, if you have any pest control questions for Derrick from Frames Pest and Wildlife, we'd love to hear from you. Ultrasonic pest devices. They sound cool. Snake oil?
Snake oil.
It is. I knew it. Darn it. I'm that guy too. And I'm a sucker. I buy every kind of plug-in.
But here's one of those things though. If it helps you feel better about having something there,
placebo,
then do it, because you'll be surprised how wonderful those things can work.
Okay.
There's a place for everything, but as far as I would say, it's
it doesn't beat the real deal.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll call it test, not guess, right?
Yep.
That's a good way to do it.
Yep.
So, all right, well, that's important. You know, another thing is, anyone out there, it's not easy to be a very, very good professional, leading edge pest control company. I did the research, and I was lucky to come across Frames, and I have not been disappointed. They have great reviews, stellar customer service, and the people there super friendly. So I urge everyone, if you're thinking about being proactive, if you're thinking about possibly just having your house inspected, now's the time. It's okay if there's snow on the ground. Is it? Doesn't matter. You guys know how to look. You go walk around the whole house. Now, how do you take binoculars? You have a drone. How do you look in the soffits and all that? Because you could visually. You guys are trained to know when there's.
So you start out with that, but there's you really want to take your time and take a look. You can get ladder.
So inspection's not like a 15-minute thing.
You want to get a ladder out if you have to. There's certain things you're going to look for that are going to make you investigate a little further.
Now, I've had real estate agents on the show and home inspectors, and I asked them, what's the number one, problem besides homeowners hiding things? It's pests, invasion. Do you guys team up with home inspectors and real estate agents yet? Because we should talk about a collaboration.
We do have some that we work with.
All right, well, that's cool. All right, we're going to take a quick break, friends. We've got Derrick Case from Frames Pest and Wildlife in studio. Text us some good questions, 248-927-1985. Are your products pet friendly? We're going to answer that once we come right back from the break. My name's Adam Helfman. This is Hire It Done on 101 WRIF, everything that rocks.
We kind of saw a surge of kitchen remodels and just home office remodels and doing things to impact how they're spending more time at home. I think now we're going to see that kind of matriculate into the exterior. It's like, all right, we got our kitchen done, we got this. Now we want to be able to expand that to more outdoor seating. We want outdoor TVs, we want outdoor sound, we want the experience to be in and out. When we're entertaining, we want to see that connection of people are in the kitchen, people are on the deck, people are on the patio, people are everywhere, but they're all sharing in that same experience. So you don't want to go outside and it be,
That's a great point. So the migration from indoors to outdoors, but that transition is less of a open the door wall, walk out, and it's a separate space. It's more of we'll call it, using your terms, a holistic staycation.
There you go. Yep.
And that way we can tie in designs we can take from the inside of the house and carry the designs outside.
Yep.
There's a lot that can happen. I love barbecuing. So for me, I have a pizza oven. I have an outdoor pizza oven. I want to do, that whole thing. And so you're speaking my language.
There we go. Yeah.
And I have a stressful day from work. And so do a lot of people. They come home. They want to take a deep breath. Yeah. Zen, right?
Yep.
Chill on the back porch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And just feel like you're in a space that's safe.
Yep.
That gives you the energy or the holistic feeling where this is my house.
Yep.
I agree with that. That's a great point.
Yeah.
Thank you.
In Michigan, we only have so many months, of wonderful weather, but maximizing on that, I think people are, really concerned with, when the weather starts to get nice is I want to be able to be outside. I want to utilize what I have. And, there are things that we can do with exterior screens and everything like that to kind of take you into the winter months while you're still able to utilize outside with the fire going and keep some heat inside to be able to move into November and December and still be able to enjoy outside.
Great point. Great point. So if a homeowner's thinking of doing a kitchen, they're thinking of doing just redecorating the inside of their house where they're not adding square footage, but maybe taking a wall out, or they need advice.
Yep.
Can they call Simmons & Co. Design and you guys can make an appointment for that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We love to get started on projects early, so sometimes if you're not going to be ready till 2026, but you're thinking about it now, frankly, now we're only doing 2026 projects. So, now is that, but if you're saying, I want to kind of like see what the options are, we may not be ready right now. Give us a call. We want to talk through it because some of it is just prep and just making sure to know what you're preparing yourself for, understanding budgetary restraints and where you are with that. Do you need another year to save up for what you want to do? That's perfectly fine. Let's be on the same page and kind of work our way through it.
So if you're thinking of getting a room addition or a major project, you better start now, friends, in the fourth quarter of 2025, and your project will get commenced in 2026. That's the reality of everything right now.
No more spaces for Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Wait a minute. You won't finish the kitchen before Thanksgiving?
No more spaces.
Maybe by 2026.
We're still getting those calls. It's a no.
I bet you are. Oh, I believe it. It happens. So let me ask you this, because I don't deal with this a lot, but I've recently had a question about it. I had a homeowner call me up and say, Adam, we're thinking about doing a major renovation. What architect do you recommend? That's what they said to me. And I'm like, you want to find a design build contractor.
Right.
Do you Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Derrick Case, Frames, Pest, and Wildlife, premier benchmark pest control company, a Metro Detroit area. And I want to say, if you go to hireitdone.com and you type in pest control, or you just click on their logo, there's $100 off coupon today. Appreciate you guys doing that. That's a big savings. That's that's a monster coupon. What does that entail?
You can use it for $100 off your initial guardian service, or the $100 off a one-time service as well, or inspections, or you use it at any service that we provide.
So right now, for the listeners, and we are coming out of winter, your recommendation is to get an inspection.
My recommendation is to go take a walk around, do your own inspection, take a walk around your outside of your house, see if their things are moving.
Give me three things that homeowners should look for today to perhaps identify potential pest invasions.
Cracks and crevices, penetrations in the house. So anything that's came off. So wind damage, siding, vents. You look at your vents.
Ice build up.
Ice build up where those
expands, pushes
dams,
it up.
Yep.
Smart.
Vents coming out of the side of the house. Dryer vents because birds can get in there.
And the dryer vents have the cushiony lint and the schmutz.
Yep.
But it's also warm, humid air.
Yep.
It's a perfect place for breeding grounds and things like that.
Any type of lawn debris, leaves that have been pushed up near the house that is sitting there, that's done. Any garbage, just really anything around your house that has been sitting there for a long time. That is the things you want to start looking at.
Now, what about commercial work? Let's say I'm a homeowner and I'm listening, I love the show, and I own a restaurant. Can I call you guys? Do you do restaurants?
Yes, we do restaurants, manufacturing, apartments, all industries, anything
A to Z. I love that. On the text line, we got a question that said, "Are your products pet friendly?"
Yes, it's and I'll elaborate on that a little bit.
Sure. That's a valid concern.
It's how they're used.
Yes.
It's a pest control product. It does have toxins in it. It is, but it's how it's used. So you do have to take a little bit of special care when you do have pets, and it's a home. So why wouldn't you? We're trying to build a relationship with our customers. We're not just coming out spraying. We want to make sure that we're able to take care of all of those things.
That's smart. That's really smart. Is phone number for people to call if they want to get a hold of frames?
Just you can go to the website or 1-800-252-8478
or visit hireitdone.com. Type in pest control or just see the frames logo. And plus, you can actually call them or you can talk to them and chat with them through the website.
Yep.
And we have the AI portion that you can type in what you have. You can even upload a picture of a stink bug and don't say it's a stink bug. Say, what's this? It'll say stink bug and here's the coupon and here's frames. Let's go.
Yep. And if you go to if you do have something and you can't use Hire It Done, you can actually go to our, send it to askthebugman.com. That actually will go to that actually will go to our website as well, and to our ladies in the office, and they'll be able to take a look at it and figure it out.
You have the AI ladies.
You don't have the AI ladies.
Shout out to them.
But our staff in the office, the ladies in the office are super awesome. They really do take care of all of our customers and try to start that first experience, your first contact, try to make it as best as possible.
I have a stink bug question.
Okay.
What do they stink like?
You don't want to know. It's bad. So if you ever do have a stink bug in the house, don't ever grab
crush it. What do you do?
I wouldn't, because it will smell. And even if you touch a stink bug, it does it does give off a perfume that's really it stinks. Just don't grab it with your bare hands. Grab it with a piece of toilet paper, paper towel. Grab it, put it in the garbage, or let it outside, which I would appreciate, because that creates better for the environment and more bugs for me.
What do stink bugs do? Are they like eat ladybugs, or do they?
So they were squirrels. They're just.
I don't remember them as kids.
I'm not an entomologist, so I'm going to make sure everybody knows that I'm not an entomologist. I can manage bugs, but I do believe that they are part of a crop insect. So they get on crops and they eat those things on crops.
And then they get in your house.
I'm going to leave it as that, just because that, but they will get in your house to overwinter. And when they get in your own house to overwinter, that's when they become the big problem for us.
I have a great idea. You ready?
Yep.
We'll partner on this. We're going to release a product. We're going to call it Stink Bug Cologne. And it's going to be like, we're going to sell that little, like, how you go get eyeglasses, they give you a little bottle. We're going to put Stink Bug Cologne together. We'll put a little Febreze scent in it. I'm a smells kind of guy, right?
Yep.
I invented air filters for your furnace that have orange, vanilla, chocolate chip, cookie smells, but Stink Bug Cologne. Maybe we'll do like Old Spice, right?
It will not go over well.
You spray it on the stink bug.
That might be the gag gift that you give to somebody. I don't know if you remember what back in the day when they used to have the fart smell.
I love those. I was the guy who had those. I dropped the stink bombs in the movie theaters.
That would be what you would do.
I was the worst.
For
people wanted to kill me. I was the guy who did that.
Yeah.
Remember Snap with a little pop rock?
Yes.
Not the Snap things you drop on the ground. Yeah. I would take loads of them.
You're everybody's friend.
Right, I was the one that you wanted to murder. So we can't do stink bug cologne?
I mean, if you want to, you can.
I mean, it just sounded sexy. I don't know. All right, we won't. Anyways, Derrick Case, Frames, Pest, and Wildlife. Vultures, monster-sized animals. Do you ever have a lion?
No lions. We dealt with some. We had a couple.
A tiger.
We had a couple services that we did with some coyotes. Those are challenging because they're large animals. So
Wily coyote.
Yeah. Birds, especially at commercial businesses. We do birds with stuff like that, netting.
We have vultures.
Can't do really much with those.
It went into the attic of a.
Oh wow!
And they were two of them. And you see them going in and out. I'm like, oh, they're nesting for sure. Something.
Yeah. So if with those, you have to wait till they leave.
Yeah,
and then you have to exclude.
Yeah, and that's terrible. What about these, all of a sudden turkeys?
Bats are a real big concern, especially
one way. You got to do those tubes, right?
So, but there are also certain times a year that you can't really do anything with them. And when you're excluding those, you have to really understand what you're doing with those. So
that's a professional.
That is a professional issue. And then the guano. So guano is just as bad as asbestos, really. When you
guano is the poop, right?
Yep. And you really
why do they call it guano?
I have no idea.
Is that Hispanic or Spanish or I don't know. We'll have to ask ChatGPT.
claim might have killed Gene Hackman and his wife.
Guano?
It was the being
poop?
surrounded by rat
Yeah.
feces could have.
Yeah, blame it on that, not the kid. Right?
But to kind of the point, and you kind of mentioned a little bit ago, when you are deciding to in any type of home service, and anything that you have people coming out to your house,
Sure.
I think one of the things that we really try to focus on is building relationships with our customers to be able to help them find solutions. And whether that be having doing pest control, servicing the customer with products, exclusion, inspections, really trying to build that relationship
Smart.
so they can ask the hard questions instead of, especially with what we're dealing in our landscape with just in general relationship due to COVID, due to everything.
Sure.
It's such a being able to cancel and move on to the next person because you're just not willing to have that conversation.
Yeah, the world has gone upside down.
So,
today. Yeah,
so with that being said, let's build some relationships with people so they can actually ask those questions. And that's really what we try to focus on, trying to help people find solutions by building those relationships.
And you know what? You just described what I look for in hired done contractors, solution-minded contractors, the ones that understand the problem, identify it, and solve it, and present it to the homeowner. Make it simple. That's the way it should be.
Yeah. And if you don't know the problem, let's go find a solution for it. Let's go find people that know what they're doing, or understand what they can say. Again, I'm not an entomologist, but I know a lot of them. So I can, if there's a problem that I can't solve, I'm okay going and asking somebody for help, because if you don't, I'm not going to be able to get rid of your problem. So let's try to find a solution together.
That's very sage advice, and I appreciate that. So, I guess it's a necessary thing. Your house is a big investment. You need to protect it. I've seen what kind of damage rodents, pests can do to a house. I've flipped so many homes to see what that is, and I've been able to identify a lot of the time. But the damage that it causes is beyond. You need to prevent that. Spend a little to save a lot, right?
Yep. And woodpeckers can do a lot of damage because they're going after insects in wood facial boards.
I get woodpeckers in my house, and how do you prevent or stop them? They like the sap out of the wood, right?
Well, so insects. So they're really going to be at houses for two reasons. One is there's insects on your home that they're trying to feed off of. Carpenter bees are huge. So carpenter bees get into the wood facial sidings, they get in there, they'll peck at that stuff out. But the other reason they do it is for mating. So they'll just come up to an area and start pecking at it for mating purposes.
Is that like their call?
Yeah. So they can do that as well. So, there's solutions for that as well. So we help out with woodpeckers as well.
Woody.
Yeah.
Woody woodpecker
will drive you crazy.
Wile E. Coyote.
Yep.
There's all these cartoon animals that do that. We got 1 minute left, but let me ask you this. What's up with all these turkeys? Wild turkeys. Can I shoot them and make Thanksgiving dinner? Or they're a different kind of meat.
You're gonna have to ask the DNR about that.
Can I make a turkey sandwich?
I cannot tell you, but from what I hear, the only good part about the wild turkeys are the
breast.
Yeah,
not the dark. I'm a dark meat guy.
Yeah,
I can't help myself.
But
but
I'm not. I don't do that kind of stuff. So I couldn't tell you. But there are a lot of turkeys around. I will say that for.
Yeah, I don't remember them as a kid. Anyways, Derrick, I want to thank you for coming on today. What a great informative interview. I appreciate you. Say hi to everyone at Frames. Shout out to that. We'll have you. We're going to do a video on all of us on a site, giving the walkthrough and the inspection for a house. I'd love to do that soon. Stay tuned, folks.
Yep, we can go into more detail on that too when we get there.
Awesome. Well, folks, there you have it. Great show. Don't forget, visit hireitdone.com. They have a $100 off coupon for Frames. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Check us out on social media. Everyone, this is the best show on home improvement, as you know. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Adam Helfman. This is Hire It Done on 101 WRIF. Everything that rocks.